Star Wars has had many good and bad additions to the saga, and many which have changed over time since their release. Many of you will remember, of course, the prequel trilogy, which was almost universally critically panned. Yet despite this, the prequel trilogy, and specifically Revenge of the Sith, have acclaimed almost cult classic status amongst Star Wars fans nowadays, amongst the millennials and Gen Z, those who grew up with it at the time. And so, my obvious question was, are there any other Star Wars properties which were critically panned at the time, yet acclaimed some kind of cult classic status amongst fans, something that goes farther back than just the prequel trilogy? And that led me to the holiday special released in 1978, and the only thing to date that George Lucas personally says he is ashamed of, and if he could, he would destroy every copy of. Now, it took a little bit of searching to try and find this on the internet. You can find it on YouTube, and in fact, I'll link it down in the description below, but it is fairly good quality, and it's probably the quality that was released on TV at the time in 1978. This is a special that released on CBS, and my goal is to find out whether or not this is as bad as everyone says it is, and if there are in fact any redeeming qualities. Now, the holiday special starts off pretty simply with a bit of a chase between Chewbacca and Han Solo and some Star Destroyers, and this draws into one of the big major flaws of this, is that there is actually no new visual effects. In fact, it gets kind of annoying, the repetitive style of using old shots from A New Hope, and then just called Star Wars, in this entire special. In fact, every single shot that you see that involves a spaceship in space that's live action can be traced back to A New Hope. And I understand that the budget for this was definitely a lot lower than any other actual Star Wars movie, but it is very strikingly annoying when all of the shots are just from a previous movie. But we don't linger on them too long. In fact, they're very brief, few and far between. We actually spend the majority of the time with Chewbacca's family. What can I say about this family that hasn't already been said before? Starting off, there's absolutely zero subtitles whatsoever, so you're really just getting growls and Wookiee speak for the entire runtime of this movie, and it is an hour and 37 minutes long, so it is a feature-length production, so we can't just say this is really just a TV special. It's a TV movie. It is 1 hour and 37 minutes long, and if I'm being fair, then I say that about half of the movie actually features this whole Wookiee family talking back and forth, cutting away to various, scenes in bars or animated features, but listening to Chewbacca's father, wife, and son just growling back and forth the entire time, whenever the Empire finally shows up, it actually makes a lot more sense. But there are a lot of cutaways that kind of distract from this, albeit boring family. And the first one is a really weird circus production. I really don't know what I don't know. I understand completely why George Lucas didn't like this and wanted to destroy everything. There's nothing in this that really screams Star Wars, except for the few shots of TIE fighters and the Falcon. It's literally just a circus performance on a hollow table. But I'm sure it gets a lot better than this, right? There has to be something better than just, watching a circus on a hollow table. Let's see, Chewbacca's wife watches a cooking show. That can be interesting. We can see what General Grievous's mom looked like, or I don't know. Fuck, I don't care. Let's see, what else have we got? Yeah, Chewbacca's father or father-in-law. It's really not specified because we can't understand a thing they're saying. He watches porn. Yeah, no, a buddy of his, a shop owner on Kashyyyk, gives him porn and says, yeah, this is really interesting. You're gonna like this.
Oh, we are excited, aren't we? Well, just relax. Just relax. Yeah. A little more. Now, we can have a good time. Can't we?
Now, I will say that despite this setting being really weird and it looking like a 70s house, but on Kashyyyk, we do actually see Kashyyyk. We see the first ever shots of Kashyyyk, and we wouldn't see it again until 2005 in Revenge of the Sith, so that is actually one very positive thing I can say about this, is that it introduced us to a new planet. Though there is a really weird sequence where Lumpy, that's Chewie's son, goes out on the ledge and balances on the beams, and then it just cuts away like it never happened. Literally, the next scene that's inside the house, he's shown to be inside and talking. They made a big stressful deal about him balancing out on all the walkways, but, he just manages to find himself back in. Just seems like a really weird thing to put in. Luke is in this, and he looks terrifying, and that's all I feel like touching on that subject. Aside from him, all the other characters actually look normal, and it is actually really cool that they got all the original characters, Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, Harrison Ford. They got all the original actors to play all the original trilogy roles, which is really nice, because, they were locked in contract for sure. I guarantee you this is the reason he wants Han Solo dead. After this, he was definitely done with the character. But it's not all fun and games. In fact, the Empire shows up, searching the houses. We actually see hear James Earl Jones' voice in Darth Vader. Darth Vader is in this for about 2 scenes. And I actually enjoyed this sequence a bit, even though it was super cheesy and the stormtroopers don't know how to carry their guns correctly. Who taught stormtroopers to hold guns like this? Just look at episode 4. Do any of them hold their guns like this? What is this? He's holding the ammo pack. This is the magazine. Imagine if you saw, this is like a Somalian pirate carrying a gun and holding it by the magazine. Guys, that's not where you put your hands. I don't know why nobody told you this in basic training. This is why stormtroopers' aims are so bad, is because for years they were holding their guns like this. But eventually they are told to search the house, and then the Imperial officer at command tells Lumpy to go and just watch something, entertain himself, and stay out of the way. And this is what brings us to arguably everyone's favorite and the only good quality about this holiday special, and that is the animated feature. Now, this feature is a little weird. The animation is kind of off and feels awkward, but it does have one saving grace: Boba Fett, the first actual introduction of the character. And I can't imagine in 1980, when episode 5 came out and kids came and they saw Boba Fett on screen, it must have been like how Clone Wars fans felt when Darth Maul was in Solo. He definitely looks a little bit different than his very recognizable costume that we see in the rest of the Star Wars saga, but it is very clearly Mandalorian, and he does have a bit of an introduction, though the story is a bit by the books. It's just a bad guy who's disguising himself as a good guy just to get information on the good guys. And we've seen it all before, but really the one thing that I absolutely love about Boba Fett in this is his voice.
Maybe I can help you. I am Boba Fett. The ship you seek is nearby.
Are the Imperial troops near this planet?
They are here, friend, and growing more powerful.
I would 100% prefer this voice to D. Bradley Baker, Tamora Morrison, honestly, all of it. I love this voice so much, and it brings so much character to Boba Fett. Just listen to that voice and tell me you don't feel a grizzled bounty hunter who's not afraid to do anything to get the job done. But the animation finishes, the Empire finds nothing at the house, so they leave with one stormtrooper posted. However, Chewbacca comes home and just lets the stormtrooper point a gun at him. What happened to ripping arms off? But whatever, it's not anything important. Until Han Solo comes up, wrestles the gun, and then just jukes the stormtrooper out, and the stormtrooper just falls off the ledge, just like jumped to his death for no apparent reason. I guess that's circling back to Lumpy and all the danger of walking around on the ledge. This stormtrooper just straight up falls off, and Han's just like, well, that's business for you. But it ends, and Han Solo leaves them, and they wish them a very happy life day, and we can see that they are now, the Wookiee family is reunited, and all is better again. And why aren't the credits rolling? Let me check the time. There's still 10 minutes left of this thing. You thought 1 hour 27 minutes is too much. Well, we have 10 more minutes of this. We have an entire end ceremony where all the Wookiees are in red robes, and it sounds so bad.
Happy Life Day.
A straight-up cacophony of Wookiee choruses singing all at once, and then Leia comes out and delivers a very heartfelt speech, and really something that hits hard after Carrie Fisher's passing, about the importance of loving one another, and fighting for freedom, and spending time with family, and oh god, she's singing now.
We celebrate a day of peace, a day of harmony.
I don't know why she's singing. There's certainly been some musical numbers that were spread throughout this entire movie, but I don't know why Leia is singing. These were all kind of thought of as cutaways or kind of music videos that people were watching, but you know why? I don't know why Leia's singing, but you know what? It's whatever. This is definitely one of the weirder Star Wars things that I've watched, and I really don't know why. It was just a gut reaction. There's not a lot to love except for this one bartender who, 10 of 10, if I went to a bar, this is the chick who I would want serving my drinks.
Well, I am certainly not going to get rich with customers like you. I thought I taught you to drink faster than that. Well, at least you're steady. Oh, come on now, drink up. There's plenty more where that came from.
Also 10 of 10 on the musical number, probably the one song in this movie that I actually genuinely enjoyed, and it was really honestly like oddly heartfelt. But that and the Boba Fett animation are probably the only two things I can actually say about this. As I said previously, this is the one thing that George Lucas said if he had the time and could, he would track down every copy of this and smash it with a sledgehammer. But now it's up on YouTube, so anybody can watch it. It's odd, it's weird. Quite frankly, I'm surprised that this didn't cripple the Star Wars franchise, especially when 1977 hit super hard with A New Hope, then just called Star Wars, to come out in 1978 with this. I'm surprised that as many people went to the 1980 release of Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, as did. Nonetheless, it exists. It is not better. I definitely would not say that time has made this better. It has made it one of those movies that's so bad it's good, kind of like The Room, but this is far from being a quality project. This is far from something I would say is actually good nowadays. It's very fun to watch just because of how funny it is if you just watch it ironically. There's a lot that it actually did for Star Wars, introducing the Wookiee home planet, introducing Boba Fett, showing us some interesting angles, albeit strange, of the Star Wars universe, but it is definitely enjoyable if you are a longtime Star Wars fan, and I think it's required viewing if you really consider yourself a Star Wars fan. Just buckle up for a really awkward and cringy ride. But what did you guys think? Have you seen the Star Wars Holiday Special from 1978? What did you think about it? Comment below. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you again next time.